Well, so our presentation, Neve couldn't make it here today, so we're going to be recording on her behalf. So our topic is it essential to be naturally caring to be a teacher?
So, do you have to be naturally caring to be a teacher? So, as a group, we would argue that teach to be a teacher. Being a teacher is more than just teaching a class. It is about forming relationships and creating a safe and enjoyable environment for your students. Being caring helps teachers to build students' confidence, build trust, and create a pleasant learning environment where students are comfortable enough to ask the questions they need to ask.
So next, I'm talking about the three of caring, and this is by Michael S. Katz. So the first one is personal or natural caring. So this is the idea that you care because you personally feel affection or empathy, not because you're a teacher. This caring is genuine and can build strong relationships with students. However, it can be inconsistent. And lastly, this occurs is when you like a student or feel warmly towards them and you enjoy supporting them and want them to succeed. So, th again, this is important as it forms connections, which builds trust, and also feelings and emotions are involved. According to Hargreaves and Tucker in 1991, um, the caring factor can be interpreted as the nurturer or like a motherly figure if it's a woman um when it comes to having like a experience like an interpersonal experience with one another.
So now I'm going to be talking about relational or moral psychological care. So this concept is about caring that comes from your personal character and value, not just your feelings or how you may feel towards one student. This means that you try and treat students respectively and fairly because you believe that that is the right thing to do. This concept is more consistent than natural caring that Lana just spoke about, but is still based on what care would mean to like the teacher themselves.
And lastly, I'm talking about professional or role-based care. So you care because it's your job and that's the teaching role. A teacher makes sure every student is cared for and no favoritism involved in the classroom. And lastly, a teacher should support their students because it is part of the teaching role. This solely focuses on the job and the role required, and there's no personal attachment really involved. And again, everyone receives the same care, and it creates a safe and inclusive um, learning environment. Also, like I feel like in this concept, a teacher, because there's no favoritism going on, there's mostly a teacher would be like leaning towards one student all the time. So it's important that everyone receives the same care and quality.
So now I'm going to talk about how being overly caring as a teacher can cause problems. Researchers found that being overly caring in a teacher role can cause emotional exhaustion, obligation to perform, to post to emotional labor, and expectations to nurture and maintain positive interpersonal relationships with one another. When teachers care too much, they become personally offended when students might misbehave, and this could cause frustration for them. Teachers can become so invested in their students' success that they will start doing too much for the student when in reality the student could have done the work for themselves.
And so next thing I'm talking about thesis versus antithesis and the key differences. So both arguments are valid in their way and they both have their own reasons on why teachers should care or not care about their students in school. Nodding's 1984, her title Ethics of Care focuses on the relationship between the person who cares and the person being cared for. She believes education should be built on understanding and attention to each other's needs and growth. It is important to be caring as a teacher, but however, it's not essential to be a caring. And lastly, we're going to reflect on our own learning experience. So, in our opinion, we believe that it is essential for teachers to be caring in the classroom to create a positive and inclusive learning environment. When we look back on our experiences in school, we will all remember the teachers who were generally caring towards us. They made us feel seen, supported, and not afraid to ask questions or make mistakes in the class. Their actions influence us the type of environment to create in our own classrooms. And teaching is not just about conducting a lesson, it's about morals and values. I feel like for me, especially, I was very shy in class. So I'd love, I wouldn't like put my hand up or anything. So I feel like I love that my teacher would like come over towards me and ask me like questions because I didn't like put my hand up wanted, in case I felt that I was like wrong or I made a mistake. So I feel like that's very important. Because you can always remember it when looking back when you're teaching your own class. If you see a student struggling, you know, like, oh, maybe I was struggling with this in school, so you help anyone that you feel needs help. And these are references. And thank you so much for listening.